it seems like you enjoyed the first episode. Oh, that's fantastic. As we have more and more to go over. Welcome back to Secrets of Villainy, Episode 2, The Psycho Villain. The Psycho Villain is a person who has become deranged in their mind for a known reason or unknown reason. They lack emotion that normal humans would have, such as guilt and remorse, and sometimes don't feel anything towards villainous acts. Some psycho-villains have extreme ideologies that they believe do good to this world, but are actually evil. And some psycho-villains don't feel any good at all. Some of them just act evil and terrorize this world just for the fun of being evil. So psycho-villains are considered great villains, and there's many reasons why they are. Number one is that they are unstoppable evil-making machines. As pointed out before, they are looking for fun and pleasure when it comes to villainous acts. And some of them generally consider themselves as the good guy in their ideologies. So what is to stop these villains from doing evil acts? Nothing. They will continue to be evil as long as they are able. They will perform plans. They will terrorize this world. And they will be evil as long as they are able. And for that reason, they are hard to take down. Many heroes and superheroes have tried to take these villains down, but they continue, as they need evil in their life in order to stay a person in their mind. These villains are also considered interesting, to the point that their goals and plans in mind sometimes don't have an overarching goal, other than just to create chaos. You see, their brains are different from ours. They function on a different level from the deranged event that happened in their past. In that fact, they see things different from us. They know things different from us. And sometimes how they know and see things is just to act in chaos. At other points, sometimes their actions and their plans are just to prove a point, or try to show something to the public through their chaotic terror. And what really makes these villains scary are the fact that they have no remorse or guilt leads them to have no limits with their evil. They can do the most horrible things and feel nothing but pleasure. They don't feel sad or guilty due to their actions. They cannot, from trauma in the brain, they literally cannot work the same as we do. We feel guilt. We have a conscience in our mind. These villains do not, which leads them to feel no guilt, no remorse, no sympathy, nothing of that case. In fact, some of these villains find fun and pleasure with their acts of evil. Sometimes they see their acts as godly or doing what's right, when in fact their actions are evil in the most worst of ways. But some of them, some of the worst ones, can't see right and wrong anymore. They only see chaos. These villains are considered the worst type of humans ever to live on Earth. And for that simple reason, the reason that they can't see emotion as we do, they cannot feel it, and for the reason they find fun in evil, they are considered some of the best villains in the world. Now comes the time where I start showing off great examples of villains that fall within this type. The first psycho villain example I'll be going over is considered one of the best villains in the world. He has a track record of being one of the most chaotic and evil villains to meet the media. And this person, of course, is the crown prince of crime, the Joker. The Joker is the first thing you think of when it comes to psychotic villains. He has lost his mind entirely to the point that people don't even know if he's human anymore. He doesn't even have a name. He just calls himself the Joker. But the Joker considers himself an agent of chaos. He doesn't have goals. He doesn't want to take over the world. He doesn't want to defeat the main hero, Batman. He just wants to create chaos and terror within Gotham City with his plans. Now, some of his plans have the goal of ruining someone's day, but also could lead to completely destroying someone's life. And most of his goals include the main hero, Batman, with his goal. Because he wants to destroy Batman. He wants to drive him into a corner and turn him insane. Now, the Joker is considered one of the greatest villains in the world for a simple reason of what we pointed out already, is that he finds evil and terror to be fun and pleasurely to him. He has never shown signs of remorse or guilt or sympathy or any of those emotions within any of the media he's been in any comic book, in any movie, in any TV show. He has never shown any of those emotions. And that is a simple reason why, is because he's so deranged that he cannot feel them anymore. He doesn't have reasoning or a reason. No one knows why he does what he does, which is why he's so great as a villain. Now, my next example is greatly different from the Joker, but is still a psycho. My next example is the CEO of Hyperion, Handsome Jack.
I can't just have some psychopathic murderers getting to the vault before I do. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's cute that y'all think you're the heroes of this little adventure, but you're not.
Now, Handsome Jack is different for the reason that he sees himself as the good guy. He doesn't find his actions to be evil. He sees his actions as purifying or cleaning the world of Pandora. Now, this is a madman with a robotic army. He is the CEO of Hyperion, which means that he has a lot of utilities on his belt. Hyperion is a super company that not only has a moon base with a super laser, but a whole robotic army to his disposal. And the CEO is this man. Now, he actually has a goal in mind, unlike the Joker. He sees the planet Pandora, a bandit-filled wasteland, as nothing but scum, and he wants to purify everything on this planet, which means he wants to annihilate it. He wants to rule the planet with an iron fist. He is a dictator with an evil, twisted mind. Now, throughout his regime, he massacres and kills people with not only without remorse, but he makes jokes and laughs at the murders and massacres he creates. A complete madman who sees himself as the hero, who owns a super company and wants to kill everything within the planet, makes him one of the strongest and coolest psycho villains ever to meet the media. Now, all these examples I've gone over are all people who have already been insane. In the past, they have shown origins of why they've become insane. But for most of their life, they have been madmen. This next example is a madman who turns twisted and deranged due to an experiment gone wrong. My next example is a terror of New York, the Green Goblin.
Hello, my dear.
Now, his real name is Norman Osborn, but he was a regular man who has altered his body and mind through an experiment with his company, which not only created an alternative personality, but an alternative personality that is completely insane. Now, he has no reason to do what he is doing. He doesn't even find it fun, but he does it anyway, which shows that he has no control over his psychotic nature. The Green Goblin has the ultimate goal of terrorizing New York, but his overarching goal is to defeat his nemesis, Spiderman. Most of his plans surround the idea of terrorizing Spider-Man in some way, shape, or manner. Now, there is no known reason why he hates Spider-Man so much, but that is also a good example to show his uncontrollable nature of a psycho. His plans do not have limits. He kills, terrorizes, and massacres people just for the sake of proving a point or to defeat his nemesis. He once dropped a whole train full of people off a bridge just to prove a point. He is completely without control. He does all this stuff for the sake of being who he is. He wants to hurt people, kill people, all because he has completely lost his mind to an experiment. All this combined makes him one of the greatest psycho villains to meet this world. Now, my last example is one of my greatest, because this villain is completely deranged more than any of the examples I've already gone over. And that is the best antagonist from the Far Cry series, Vaas, the pirate leader.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Oh, Jesus.
Vaas Montenegro is a pirate gang leader who enjoys murder and torture like it's something to do for fun. Now, he is completely unfazed by murder. He does it to the point to just solving minor problems is solved through just killing somebody. And he finds it boring to have no one to torture for a long period of time. He also loves the slow and agonizing torture type. He once held a man into the sand up to his neck for weeks, even to the point where the water came up to his head. He was still being tortured like that, which drove him to die. Now, this guy has no reason or known reason to be this insane. He is a complete mystery throughout the game, which makes him one of the coolest antagonists within the game. He is so deranged to the point to when someone pointed a gun at him, he encouraged that person to shoot. He wanted that person to take his life, and we don't know why he did it. He is completely deranged, twisted, and insane to the point that we don't know anything about him. His complete origin and how he became like this is a mystery to us. But it is how he is, and which makes him one of the best psychotic villains. Psycho villains are not only one of the greatest villain types in this media world, but can be one of the most interesting. They are completely unhinged to the point that we love seeing what they will do next. And we love a villain that will go past the limits for his plans. And they get rid of major emotions just for evil. Which is why psycho villains are some of the best villains in the Villainy